Okay, so let's do vertebral column. I know I might have done this on another review, but that's okay. Let's assume this is just the lecture that you're going over. So I said the vertebral column has cervical, it has thoracic, it has lumbar, and it has sacral, right? And coccyx, little tail. But the three major ones that you want to identify or at least differentiate that are fairly similar to one another, sacral is not. The three are cervical, thoracic, and lumbar. So what do I think of for cervical? I like to picture or imagine a house with bushes on the side and a chimney stack that has two pointy processes we call bifid. There's two bones that are special. They don't have all these characteristics, but in general, most of the cervical vertebrae have these characteristics. The second one, oh, it's next to the heart, so I like to think of it as heart-shaped. Some people say it's apple-shaped, that's fine. And then the last one, he's the biggest of them all with a tiny little head, so we have sumo man. Sometimes he has little boobies for processes. So I have sumo man with boobies, I have a heart-shaped vertebrae, and I have a house with a chimney stack or bifid process and two trees on the side. Let's see what this means. So I have vertebral column, vertebral spine, the vertebrae, cervical, thoracic, lumbar, sacral, coccygeal. How do you remember the numbers? Well, seven cervical, 7 cervical vertebrae, 12 thoracic. Oh my goodness, these are so easy. And then you grab your hand and you say, my back hurts and my sacrum hurts. So there are 5 and 5. So let's do this again. Cervical has 7, thoracic has 12, lumbar has 5, and sacral has 5. And then coccyx, a tiny little tailbone, has anywhere from 3 to 4. The reason you know or memorize the numbers is because there are nerves that branch out from these different divisions. Cervical, it doesn't have 7 actually. It starts above and it ends below, so you have to add 1. So cervical nerves have 8, but everything else is pretty standard. So if I have 12 vertebrae, I have 12 nerves for thoracic. If I have 5 vertebrae, I have 5 nerves for lumbar. If I have 5 vertebrae again, I have 5 nerves for sacral. So let's take a look. And then there's curvatures, and cervical curves forward, lumbar curves forward, and the other two kind of curve backward. Vertebrae, we said 7 for cervical, 12 for thoracic, 5 lumbar, 5 sacral, very good. But sometimes sacral fuses. So you might start off as a child with 5 sacrum, or 5 different bones that represent the sacrum. But as you get older, they fuse together and can become one. Same thing as the coccyx. You might start off with 3 or 4, but you'll end up with 1 later when it starts to fuse. So this is kyphosis. This is the abnormal curvature of the spine in the thoracic region. It's also known as hunchback. We have lordosis. Could be from pregnancy or beer belly. It's a forward protrusion of the lower back in the lumbar region. And then scoliosis is the side to side. Right? We're pretty familiar with this because physicians are always checking the spines of children, so you guys are probably familiar with having a doctor tell you to bend forward so that they can